Kazasagi Usagi, and I am here with Final Fantasy XIV. I know it's Kaza. No Akali. We're not completely done with Akali, but no more story for Akali. It's very sad, but it is for the best. I simply do not have the time to gear her. So, we are hopping right into the Pandemonium raid. I'm very, very excited. I have no idea what anything is, but we're gonna see our Asian friends. We're gonna hang out with Lidibus. Lahabrea will probably be there. Nimiji nods at you as if she was expecting your arrival. Okay, I will actually. Are there personal duties in this one? There wasn't in Eden, but there was in solo duties. There we go. There wasn't in Eden, but there were in Omega. It appears my calculations were correct. I knew that at this very spot I would encounter none other than Kasasagi, the hero who saw us through the final days. So certain was I of my math that I stood here for... Well, let's not concern ourselves with that. Okay, I will just add you both. I am Nimijiji, assistant to the one Professor Caldian. We work with the Adascope to observe the ethereal sea and delve into its myriad mysteries. Some mysteries, though, are beyond our capabilities to unravel. The strange crystal we but recently discovered, for instance, defies our very conjecture. You've been to the center of the star and far beyond it, however, so we do hope that you may see something in this crystal that we academics do not. I beg you lend us your well-traveled eye at Aporia. Professor Calden will be eagerly awaiting your arrival. Excuse me, Lance. Oh, it's so busy in here. Oh, no wonder the fates were so obnoxious despite there only being 3 of us. Everybody's in here. Everybody's in these zones. Makes sense. Greetings, Kazasagi, and welcome to my humble laboratory. I am sure Nemjiji has already told you plenty about us, but allow me to introduce myself personally. I am Caldian, leader of this little research collective. I must admit, I have been nervous about this meeting ever since Nemiji set out to find you. For a researcher in my field, there is no greater an honor than to meet the first woman in history to traverse the ethereal sea and return to tell the tale. The professor speaks often and at length of your deeds, and he has no small number of achievements of his own to his name. He has peered deeper into the ethereal sea than any other in Charlian, and his breadth of his knowledge is peerless. Peerless perhaps, but for a single woman, we must seize this precious opportunity to learn what we can from her, and perhaps crack this conundrum that has stumped the 3 of us for moons. It was we who first peered into the fathomless sea from the Antitower, in the Dravanian hinterlands. There we spoke with Heidelin and learned the fate that would befall this star, the final days. Soon thereafter, all research was moved to Labyrinthios, and through the Ateoscope we continue our vigil. An impressive a work as the device is, however, it can glimpse but a fraction of the sea's infinite depths. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the Exodius was declared, we recovered an unusual crystal shard during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly, as if propelled to the surface by some unknown force. We found that it possessed an ethereal density that exceeds that of normal crystals by orders of magnitude, and its shape resembles nothing which occurs in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Unfortunately, that was the extent of the information we could glean before we were forced to turn our focus towards the Exodius. The crystal was very nearly forgotten amidst the sudden upheaval. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, the crisis is now behind us, and we are free to resume our research. Thus did we decide to seek you out, the dauntless adventurer who delved into the unknown and beheld its innermost secrets, and now we would have you see for yourself. Okay. Interesting. Then are we looking at a former Convocation members crystal. Here is the crystal in question. It resembles aught you have encountered before, even by the smallest degree. Please say so. Yeah, this must be a former Convocation member's crystal. Yes. Igiorums? Or Amalanth? I know of someone who bears a similar crystal. It's me! Memory abides within this crystal. As I thought, you do know what this is. Please, tell me everything. I can feel Emmett's soul being exasperated that we are telling somebody this from beyond the ethereal sea. They were like their secret special stones. I see. The Ascians use these to transfer their memories to new vessels. Fascinating indeed. It was plain that this crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpasses even my considerable expectations. Similar artifacts have appeared through the ages, memories of martial techniques manifested as crystalline shards on the battlefield, or stored stones passed from master to student. A comparison between said artifacts and this crystal may prove a fruitful first step in unveiling its true nature. What do you think, Professor? Ascian memories. Windows through which we can gaze upon the Convocation of 14. Unlike the crystal in Kasasaki's story, this one does not bear the mark of the Convocation. Oh, who then could these memories belong to? And more importantly, why were they stored in this particular shard? More importantly still, why was it set adrift to the ethereal sea? Professor Caldine. Yes? I'm well aware that your contemplation is the key to breakthrough, but there is a propriety to consider. We have a guest, one you invited explicitly. Must we do this every time? What? Yes, of course, our guest. Terribly sorry. I do so easily find myself unmoored by the tides of rumination. Perhaps a more engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up through that crystal. If indeed there are memories stored within, they may reveal themselves to you upon contact. Come on, Echo Powers. If anyone, message, come, pandemonium, please. Faces, grave threat, star in danger. The expression does not bode well. What did you see? Pandemonium. 'Tis not a word I heard before. If my knowledge of the ancient tongue serves me, it means all demons. Not a name that inspires optimism, all things considered. In the event that another star-shattering cataclysm is in fact bearing down upon us, I would have the aforementioned examples of crystallized memory to hand. Nimijiji, Rusarand, I entrust their procurement to you. If there are more memories to be extracted from this crystal, we will find them. As for you, Kasasagi, there is a person I would have you seek, the one who has delivered so dire a warning. Your story tells us that this crystal could very well have been made by one of the ancients. If that is the case, then discerning the nature of this pandemonium would require a trip far into the past, to an era before the Sundering. I know of one individual capable of such a feat, the very hero who traversed time to prevent the world's doom. I must confess, the tales people tell me of your adventures beggar belief, and their veracity has been a subject of much debate among my peers. After today's meeting, however, there can be no doubt in my mind that every incredible exploit is a fact. So I ask you now, return to the past and find out what and where Pandemonium is, and if we need be concerned by this message. If I was me, well, I am me, but if I was Casa right here, I would simply do all I can to change the future. Vana's not here to tell me what to do this time. Thank you. For the time being, you should keep the crystal in your possession. I do not think you have seen the last of its memories, and more may be drawn out as you approach their source. Safe travels, and may we meet again soon to share our findings. Oh, we have to go to the crystallarium to go to the past. Like, I haven't been there chopping down trees for the last 2 weeks. Okay. That's fair. I guess canonically you have to make it make a little bit more sense because you were expelled before. It's different when you have need of, like, fish, I guess. Elizabeth, I need another ride to the past, I guess. If receives this message, come, Pandemonium, quickly. It's very funny we had to do it this way. I can't get over it. Oh, Jesus. I guess we had to move time slightly forward. Ugh. Oh no! He is so pretty. Don't stare like that, Casa. Could it be? No, of course not. Apologies, but for the briefest moment, I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. I realize now that such a notion is preposterous. Oh, we were Elidibus's dear friend. She told me a falling star would appear before me, and I suppose you must be it. Truth be told, I did not expect the expression to be so literal. Having so many emotions. I was so excited. Demas. I know who you are. Oh, he's barely taller than me. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. Apologies for not introducing myself properly. My name is Themis. As you can see by my bare face, I am not one of Ellipsis' overseers. So very, very quickly, it is not a well-known Greek god, but it is a Greek god all the same as, the 14, god, the convocation of 14 tend to be. Themis is the personification of justice and the goddess of wisdom and good counsel, which is very fitting for our young lad. Rather, I have come here on an assignment, which has been more or less routine up until this very moment. You certainly do know how to make an entrance. I must wonder what brought you here, for it is plain that you do not belong here, or any place I know, for that matter. I am Azim's familiar. Huh. It appears my initial impression was not so preposterous after all. I did not know my friend had such a unique familiar at her disposal. If you are here at Azim's behest, then I believe I can hazard a guess as to your purpose. You are here to investigate Pandemonium, yes? If so, we may be able to help one another. But first, might I trouble you to explain how you came to collide with my skull? I believe that dispels any major doubts I had concerning your intentions. Apologies for being so intrusive, but you must understand this is an uncommon occurrence. I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we all have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at the crystal of yours. Fascinating. While I cannot say much as to what it contains, it is clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in Pandemonium. The facility extends beneath Elpis, and is overseen by the words of Lahabrea. It houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects and highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, it is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, an unnatural shift in the flow of its surroundings, Aether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandemonium ceased. I am here as representative of an organization that works directly with the convocation and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Now that there is some measure of transparency between us, might I offer a suggestion as to what we should do next? I would like crit, please. During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. They can be exchanged for equipment by speaking with Maylene or Fora and Joel in Raz Ed Han. Themis is eager to commence an investigation into Pandemonium. Now then, my proposal is a simple one. Let us journey to Pandemonium together. Our destination is the same, and I suspect the arrangement would work to our mutual benefit. Besides, I should have no trouble gaining us both access. I do hope you agree. I would be loath to part ways from the falling star I had been waiting so long for. Originally, I had planned to conduct my investigation with the friend I mentioned earlier. She had also noticed the anomaly near Pandemonium, so it only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, she eventually decided that it would be unwise for us both to go. If two members of our organization were seen poking heads about restricted facilities, it could raise questions, you see. So it's not us that he was talking about. I decided to go alone, but she left me with these words. Fear not, for in my absence a star shall fall before you. While I could not comprehend her meaning at the time, I believe now I understand. She does have a way of being right about these things. Who is he talking about? Even so, her hints of what to come are generally more cryptic. I suppose I should have kept my gaze to the heavens. Suffice it to say that I am grateful for your presence either way. As for the matter at hand, we must first gain permission from the words of Lahabrea for entry into Pandemonium. There ought to be a speaker waiting at N. Gregorius. Yes, it is raid time. I think so too. But I don't know. I am completely blind, so let's be careful. What a fascinating etheric signature. In accordance with the Convocation's request, the two of you have been granted leave to observe Pandemonium. I shall register your aether for the records. From this point on, you may freely come and go from Pandemonium as you please. Now, that was a painless process. I take this as a sign that we were meant to conduct our investigations together. Of course, while you have been permitted entry into the facility, the specimens housed inside must be handled with the utmost care. You are to heed the warder's instructions at all times. Those who conduct their work with Pandemonium are called warders, for their role with respect to the creatures within. Generally, creations that pose a threat to the safety of the star must be undone. However, the words of Lahabrea has deemed certain such creations as worthy of further study, interring them within the facility. Those who spend their days in Pandemonium are not merely researchers. They must work tirelessly to ensure that none of their subjects slip their shackles. For all intents and purposes, the place is a dungeon. Perhaps such a comparison arouses frightful imagery, but Pandemonium is a frightful place. I know the purpose of your investigation, but if you discover aught that merits a report, pray do so with utmost haste. Master Lahabrea shall guide us upon the proper course of action from there. Don't make that face, Costling. We've been waiting for this. Then I take it that means you have detected nothing amiss as of late? The warders have reported nothing that would cause alarm. Minor fluctuations in aether have been observed, but surely Master Lahabrea would have acted if there were anything worth worrying about. Show me the boy! I see. It appears Lahabrea is kept well abreast of the going-ons here, then. I hope I am not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but you seem to be quite familiar with Master Lahabrea. Do you know him? We've met. There's a mere familiar would have the honor to meet Master Lahabrea. He is not known to easily afford others his time, so you must be extraordinary indeed to be granted even a moment of it. I run a couple runs of Praetorium in my day. He and I have met on occasion. Regardless, while I doubt I need to tell you this, he is of the Convocation. Take care that your actions do not hinder his work. It was neat. And with that, we are free to make our way to Pandemonium. The nearest that will take us there is on the eastern bank of the Lith. Let us delay no further. That he can't even be part of his own ultimate fight is so fucking tragic. Anyway. I'm shaking the bars of my cage, and I want to meet him so bad. Show me his face! For 2 seconds! You should have... It's not right. They can't keep getting away with it. They can't keep getting away with it. I had to contain my surprise for the sake of appearances. You didn't do a very good job, Elidibus. But it is true that but is it true that you too have met Lahabrea in the flesh? I find you more fascinating by the moment. His jaw literally hit the floor. Still, I shall refrain from asking too many questions. Secrets will make our journey all the more intriguing. We shall come to know each other in time, I wager, or else why would fate have orchestrated our meeting? It's so sad. It's so sad because his brain just becomes scrambled eggs. He won't remember any of this. In any case, let us be off. Truth be told, this will be my first time beholding the fabled Pandemonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? My friendship has ended with Emmett Selk. Elidibus is my new bestest friend. Ooh, who's this? It is much as I feared. The speaker seemed in such high spirits that for a moment I thought the ethereal irregularity not nearly so grave as portent as I had imagined. Alas, 'twas a fleeting hope, a fleeting vain hope. To gaze upon this complex network of chains and wards, the untrained eye might not sense anything awry. No effort has been spared in making this place impenetrable. Even the finest of masterworks is not without its flaws, however. Someone or something is tampering with the protections. It is working from within, eroding them from the inside out. Fear not, there is no immediate danger. I reinforced what protections I could from the moment we arrived. This will not put an end to whatever is occurring, but it shall at least serve to slow its progress. One small victory, though the road ahead of us is yet long. Yes, powerful forces are at work here. I say it would take us 2 years to get to the end of this mystery. The silence in the air speaks volumes. While I did not expect a bustling facility, I see not a single warder. Our first course of action should be to seek one out, wherever they may be. However, there is something you must know. The magic I wove upon entering requires my constant awareness. That is to say, if we are forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle. Should I lose focus, Pandemonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Were there another way, I would gladly choose it, but let us at least be grateful that neither of us is here alone, trapped in hopeless circumstances. If we should fail to find a peaceable solution, then I hope that I can rely on your strength to see us through. Of course, you have my promise. Thank you for offering your help so willingly. If weapons are drawn, I hope to be able to at least lend a touch of magical support. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had it in mind to use your aether as basis for illusionary allies that will fight at your side. Perhaps 7 shall do. A full party, you could say. Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. Then so shall be it. Now, what, I wonder, awaits us in Pandemonium's pitiless halls? I love how they try and make sense of how all this stuff works. How did your friends get here? Elizabeth saw them. I cannot say for sure what awaits us. Let us make ready for the worst, and we shall not be taken by surprise. I love the aesthetic of this place. I also like Lahabrea's little, Castlevania house that he lives in, I assume. What is a man? Yeah, this is a Castlevania castle. Dracula's in there. Excellent. Thank you for sippies. I can't wait to get absolutely bodied. I'll save them. I must. Uh-oh. This appears to be one of the warders we seek, and I'm afraid he is in no state to answer questions. Perhaps you can bring him to heal, I assume, is what Elizabeth said. Death walls. Nope, that was not what I wanted, but we'll hard cast it. It's all good. This sure looks like mechanics. Oh, I see. Okay. I should probably stay here then, because I am... Yes. And now I'm red, so I don't know what the fuck that means, but... Yep, okay. Got it. Understood. I think I hooked it. Oh, and he's doing orange fireballs. Nope, that makes sense. Here. Maybe some white fireballs. Oh, white fireballs. Yeah, okay, I understood what was happening. One way here. Yep. Oh no, I'm not gonna live through that actually. I was doing everything right. I needed to be closer in, I guess. I just barely hit the double. That was just bad luck. I'm just standing on ground, so like red on one of these. But yeah, not on that side. Well, I assume I can stand here. I don't get here. Okay. Oh, believe it. Did I stand with red? I can stand in both these rooms. No, I have to move to the next one. Just go here. My buffs are off, but that's okay. Life goes on. I want to probably be on this weight. Over here. Oh, that's simply not my problem. Yeah, that's what got me too. during the Stern Phoenix days. Oh. I'm gonna get away from Val, I think. I am red, so I'm gonna be here. This seems like a safe place. I don't know if they start from the bottom or the top yet. Oh, it's the bottom. Okay. And I can be on either one of these, but I need to know this one it is. Oh no, I fucked up. I'm stupid. That's okay. I should have gone in the back. I guess because the books aren't out, we should need for all the gear? Because you can't get the rain gear yet? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. No one can tell me what to do. I do not need jewelry though. That much is extremely clear, right? Just the Zodiac gear. Yeah. I won a single pair of pants. That's pretty rough. That was a thrilling display, and if I may be so vaunting, the warriors I spun from your Aether fought even more splendidly than I had anticipated. I suppose they were cut from an excellent cloth after all. We should wait until this man regains his senses. He wears the robes of a warder, and I would be very curious to know what drove him to attack us sight unseen. I got by the death wall too. Kasasaki, he stirs. Oh jeez. What came over me? You transformed right in front of us, and it was extremely lewd. It's coming back to me. My mind was filled with the storm of desperation, anger, and I leapt at you, though I knew not of your intentions. Pray accept my apologies, and my thanks. Had you not knocked some sense back into me, I may have fallen upon someone less capable of defending themselves. I am Erichthonius, a warder of Asphodolus, Pandemonium's highest layer, and the place we're in now. Oh, one must wonder why you were so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandemonium? The creations interred within Asphodolus have been set free and stalk its halls to no end but violence. That is not good, to say the least. Has this ever happened before? No, never. Each layer of Pandemonium is under the charge of a key ward who keeps strict control over the most minute aspects of their domain. They're selected with great care, and their loyalty to Master Lahabrea is absolute. Yet something has gone terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line, the chaos within is overwhelming. I hardly recognized that I had become separated from my colleagues. I remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards only flashes of rage and fury, then blackness from which I awoke to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. I see. Your senses may have been muddled by magics that affect the mind. Perhaps the selfsame ones that saw you separated from the other warders. Whatever had taken a hold of me, thank you for releasing me from its clutches. That you've come here from the surface must mean some word of our plight has reached the outside world. If you know anything that may help, pray tell. Horror among horrors, so Pandemonium's protections are indeed being dismantled from within. By the same individual, or individuals, that released its captives and set them upon you, no doubt. Such knowledge avails us little, however, if we cannot ascertain their identity. Themius, was it? You said you worked for an organization under the auspices of the Convocation. Were they to receive word of what has transpired here? What measures would they take? Doubtless they would consider this place to be a lost cause. Pandemonium's ties to the outside world would be severed, or perhaps it would be wiped from existence entirely. As I thought, were the creatures to escape to the outside world, there would be untold carnage. The words of Lahabrea would never risk that, despite the value of the research subjects that they may hold. All the more reason to work with haste. If we can't expect further help, then it falls to me to save the others. I'll not leave them behind. You would go alone. I won't leave the other warders to face certain doom. I know they fight for survival even now. They wouldn't abandon their duty. They would see these creatures return to their cells at all costs. And I must do the same. Themis, I know the request I'm about to make of you is a monumental one, but please, say not a word of this to the Convocation until I've been given the chance to set things right. You would ask Elidibus to lie? Forgive my rudeness, Ichikrescinos, but my decision cannot be swayed by emotion. You would only be consigning yourself to an early death. Strength of resolve alone cannot win in the face of overwhelming odds. That being said, our investigation has only just begun, and we would be remiss to turn back ere we've made an exhaustive survey. So for the time being, there is slightly more than resolve to rely upon. I knew you would be all too eager to join us. Each moment since you fell from the skies has been more interesting than the last. More and more, you remind me of my dear friend. Which goes some way towards encouraging me that this matter will yet reach a satisfactory conclusion. So, you agree to help? For the moment, our goals align. The protective magics of Pandemonium yet hold for the moment. Time is in our favor. Let us proceed upon the course you and Kasasagi have set us upon. Themius and Kasasagi, yes? Thank you. The warders owe you a great debt already. We shall be glad to have someone familiar with Pandemonium's halls by our side. A party of 3 is ever so much more entertaining than a party of 2. Now, let us return our attention to rescuing your colleagues. Perhaps it would be wise to approach the gates, in case any have followed you out. So, it's actually really cute what's playing here. Is the piano version of the Tempest music. And the Asians, when it comes to the CDs that come out for the Orca, like just the piano versions of the songs, they usually feature an Asian, and one of the first being Elidibus on his piano. Is very good. It seems our investigation will be quite the ordeal after all. Still, I find it hard to believe that Lahabrea knows all of what has transpired here. Whoever the mastermind of this crisis is, they do not lack for power and cunning. This man's name. Intricrisino is peering into the depths of pandemonium. If we could say his name less, I would be super pleased. Eric Onosius. Eric Onosius? Oh, that is how it's Eric Onosius. I looked it up. Someone. Not a sound can be heard from within, which means neither creature nor warder has made it this far. We should begin forming a plan to save them at once. Eric Onosius was one of the early kings of Greece. Forgive me if I misunderstand, but do you mean to rescue the warders and creations both? Naturally, although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. I wouldn't see our untold hours of study go to waste. Yes, Seth? I dare say Lahabrea would smile to hear you say such a thing. That is, if we had cause to report this incident to him. You're free? Are you on winter break at long last? Yay! Smile. I'm not sure his face is capable of such warmth. So you have met him before? I was under the impression he rarely visited Pandemonium. I have, yes. My mentor was the previous head of this facility, that is to say, Lahabrea's predecessor, in the position of the Chief Key Ward. Her name was Athena, and she was a researcher with the wards. 'Twas she who appointed me to this position, in fact. I see. I did not know there was a Chief Key Ward before Lahabrea. Your motivation to save your research subjects is not entirely driven by duty to the words, then. You wish also to preserve the work of your mentor. Oh, it's not too bad. I have nothing I can complain about. Been doing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. You've the right of it, and lacking in ideas of how to go about that, however. I'm a mere warder and cannot wield intermediate magics. But of course I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. If you recall, during our battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. Intermediate is a more refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles. While both are used to keep our subjects docile, only the key ward of each tier is permitted to use intermediate. Even if I were allowed, I lack the aptitude to use the spell to any notable effect. It never stops. Fascinating. I have some knowledge of these forms of spellcraft, actually. Lahabrea himself established their foundation, if I recall. While shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time, intermediate freezes with very space around it for as long as the caster wills. Indeed, while the illusory brings you summoned in our fight suggested as much, I see your knowledge of magic is vast. Perhaps you've already mastered the art of the intermediate, and I've been lecturing you like a child all this time. I'm afraid my knowledge ends there. I have not the precise understanding of how the invocations interact with natural laws that would be needed to cast said spells with any consistency. While I consider myself well versed in various magics, I would be ill-advised to assume the duties of Keyword without instruction. That being said, if I were to learn more of the intermediate and its inner workings, mayhaps. Well, you have a warder standing in front of you. Well, the solution is obvious when you put it like that. Ericinius, you implied what prevented you from performing intermediate was lack of magical capacity. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Would the spell succeed then? I can't say for certain. I've never heard such a thing be done before. I believe it may be time. I believe it be our best recourse. That is, of course, assuming you can perform the initial rites and incantations flawlessly. Even the smallest misstep, and we would have to start over. You needn't worry about that. I've seen the spells cast so many times that their motions have been burned into my memory. I won't disappoint. Very well. Let us work out the specifics afterwards. Once we do, we can test out our methods on one of the escaped creatures, though I suppose there is the matter of finding one. It would be foolish to rush in blindly, unless we find ourselves surrounded with naught but an untested stratagem at our disposal. Nay, I would prefer to engage a single creature that Kasasagi could dispatch on her own if the spell were to go awry. I agree, and I may have an idea in that regard. I recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my fight. Perhaps it's still there. A few of the subjects housed within Asphodolos are fond of water, and I believe we'll be able to engage the beast without fear of unwanted guests. Then that shall be our first target, or perhaps subject is a better term. Before we commence with the intermediate magics, the creature should be weakened to a sufficient degree. I believe I can trust you with that task. As dependable as ever. Once you have given it a thorough trouncing, we shall bind this hippocampus with a keyword magic. Until then, my illusions shall fight by your side. The hippocampus will be alone, but its daunting opponent nonetheless. Its magic warps the environment around it, and it will be at home amidst the waterways. Steel yourself for a fight. Damn it. I dislike where this is going. Athena ever drove home the fact that our subjects should be treated with the utmost care. It would be best if we could see them confined once again rather than disposed of like beasts gone feral. I take it we are each ready to fulfill our respective roles. Truth be told, this will be the first time I've ever practiced magic that requires such a degree of cooperation between parties. How thrilling! He's so cute! He's a precious, precious bean! Yes. Where is your elephant boy? Oh, I don't know. You probably weren't watching during the most stressful moment I had for that elephant boy. You'll see it when you get there, Zeth. I will not speak of the fate of your elephant boy. Oh, thank you for the sippies. That is not a hippopotamus. I thought we were fighting a hippopotamus. Sir, your middles. Gaping Ludwig. Well, it doesn't look like we'll die if we fall off. This is some fancy lad music we have here in this Desire situation. That was 40k damage. It was extremely sexy. I'm gonna take a gander and say probably not be over there. Oh! You very much do not want to be over there. Oh. Understood. Oh. Now there's a death vault. Everything's gone straight to hell. But like emotionally. Hey, that ain't good. Oh man. Okay, fine. I'll stand over here then. Doritos always stack! Oh god, that water dot hurts so fucking bad! I'm actually going to die to the water dot. There's a nasty dog over there. Oh dear. You know what, that's fair. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't know what to do. This is where I die, actually. The movement is tricky. I'm gonna wait. Kirby. Let's just start. Well, we all make mistakes. Every day, actually. I'm actually gonna do my favorite. Fucking dot. I gap closed right into the dot. It's so frustrating. My gap closer is going to get me killed in Savage. Constantly and without fail. Okay. I need to pay more attention to what the hell is going on with this particular stuff. He's gonna split, right? It's hard to see the safe spots. Tank stuff. Okay. Yeah, okay. I was actually safe for a minute. I think this is fine, yeah. No! Yes. Okay, I'm fine. Oh my gap. Okay, I'll go. Yeah, that's fine. If you want to fight for it, I won't stop you. I ain't gonna fight. Come to me. Oh, look at the warders' sigils. Those are very cool. I actually don't need the accessories. Like, I'm pretty sure. No, yeah, because these are fine. Okay. The only thing I can win are the things I rolled a 99 on. Okay, no problem. We go together. That was a trial by fire, or water, I suppose, but I had faith we would see it through, so long as we have your stout arm, of course. These have not been too bad. The mechanics are all pretty straightforward. Because what was it? What was the first tier last year? It was E1, which was pretty... Eden 1 was pretty straightforward. Eden 2, oh god almighty. I knew that you were no mere mercenary to make such clean work of the hippo compost. The seasoned fighters scarcely have occasion to visit Pandemonium, let alone display their skills. Mastery takes all forms indeed. Needless to say, our plan worked to perfection. It in no small part thanks to you two. Yeah, I can see some of, like, the savage mechanics already. And I'm like, ooh. The grates on those safe platforms are not going to be safe. Themos' power was more than enough to complete the intermediate. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper Magos. Truly? Having seen your abilities firsthand in your fight with Kasasagi, I beg to disagree. Shackles is the one exception, and 'tis only because I've been forced to practice it since I was but a small child. Other magics leave me feeling completely out of my depth. Regardless, it seems that luck is on my side. To guide me to you, we may prove the impossible after all. Let's grab... After witnessing the hippocampus' capabilities, I should not blame you for wishing to avoid engaging any further creations in place of their choosing. Alas, I doubt we will have that luxury. Athemius is pondering the road ahead. While our success in sealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other warders concerns me. The key ward of Asodelius is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered the warders he could and retreated to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurs to me that I know little of the key wards besides their magical prowess. Is there aught more you can share? Of course. A man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphodeus. Not only does he have thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. He has done much to ensure that I flourished here, in spite of my ineptitude at magic, and I have always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, key wards are not the only masters of the intermediate. They can also bend the hallways of Pandemonium to their will with creation magics. With all this in mind, I am certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. Hesperos is a cherub in Greek mythology, I think. I'm gonna do a Google because I'm so curious. Hesperos is the evening star, the planet Venus in the evening. He is one of the Astra Planta, a son of the dawn goddess Eos, and is the half-brother of her son, Phesperos. That's all there is to that. I can see why absolute control over the Inverans is imperative. Had we faced the Hiccopos upon arid sands instead of waterways, I suspect that the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if Hesperos is capable of and caring as you say, we would do well to seek him out as soon as we can. He has like as not taken your colleagues to a secure location. The safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos. From there, they could flee to Abyssios if hard-pressed. Even should they have sought safe haven within the other circles, if we make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them on the way. Indeed, we shall gain comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos, which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down to Abyssos. The rub, of course, is that I myself possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the next corridor, which was barred by the Phoenix last I checked. Phoenix? I have heard that name before. A fiery bird with life eternal. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfected concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers. If I recall, truly an exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is ever built on the back of failure, however, and Lahabrea suffered countless missteps during his experiments. And he was hardly the only one. The Phoenix will be one out of many attempts at the concept gone awry. Aye, far from invoking wonder, our Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus was it confined within Pandemonium. Development of the concept continued elsewhere, but as moons turned, more and more researchers abandoned the project as an impossibility, save for Lahabrea and his words. When I received word that at long last Lahabrea had succeeded where so many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the warders of Pandemonium celebrate their master's accomplishment? Don't believe we did. The research of the words of Lahabrea has little consequence to our work here, save for those rare times it charges us with a new specimen. Truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of the occasion. But enough reminiscing. We must make ready to confront the Phoenix. While it's possible that it flew off into some other wing of Pandemonium, we would make the assumption at our own peril. Better to assume that we'll need to bring Asphodela's most unruly subject to heel. I certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over flame will avail it far less in a barren corridor than anywhere else, so it may well serve us to subdue it sooner rather than later. If this requires mechanics from the Phoenix and the coils, I don't remember them. I have no memory of this. Oh. It looks like the new Moltres from Sword and Shield. Oh my god. It's really Dracula. What is it, man? What? Elizabeth was like, no. No, thank you. It seems whoever is behind this can alter the space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Impossible. If those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let us confront the reality after we've conquered the enemy in front of us. Every drop of our focus shall be required if we are to enter the Phoenix. Fight well, friend. We shall gain naught from allowing the larger implications of this to distract us from the fight ahead. The Phoenix's rage will be unbridled, but I trust you are prepared for the worst. Oh, I wish we got more of, like... that the rooms were a little different than like this. But I suppose it's no different than like the Eden room or... I just want to be in the castle. I want to be in there. Death wall, excellent. Oh, that's a fucked up bird. You didn't do a good job at all, Lahabrea. center's safe, right? Oh, no, center was not safe, but that's okay. Oh, what the fuck? I don't... That... Okay, Okay, I need to think. I need to do this. I need to summon my Kirby. Assume we just freeze. Oh no, these have numbers on them, and I might get yet killed. There we go. Okay, no, I didn't do it. Oh, our numbers are supposed to be on... If you have a number, you're supposed to be on the corners. That makes sense. Bad phase. Will you live to see the end? Yes, I did figure that out. Okay, Kirby time. I think this is coils basic though. I'm not crazy. I see. No, wait, I got out of there. Please let me finish my building. Thank you, bird. Okay. That's just my life. I didn't see shit. It's so bright in here. Oh, this is like student talk. Be hitting. I was super slow. I'm an effort base. Do not. Jesus Christ. The solution to that is don't be an effort base. Staying alive is kind of what's more important. Trying to see what does its own key. Please do not stand on me, good God. Whoa, the snapshot is disgusting. I have to be in a different phase. I cannot be in a different phase. Oh my god. Oh, we all just deal with that as we can. See here. Oh, what? I will get hit by that every time, and no one can stop me. I will not improve. I will not get worse. No, I have casting to do. That should be the last. You know what I'm gonna do? Oh. We fight Dracula next? Dracula feels like it might be next. Golly. With that, the Phoenix is shackled once more. However, there is yet another matter of this arena. As you've told us, there is but one person in Asphodolos with the ability to and authority to wield such magics. Though fortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of interment drag the Phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is more a failure than its creators cared to admit, or you are no mean trespassers. I'd hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. Keyword Hesperos. Why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandemonium? Pandemonium. Pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast, unlike those charged with its keeping. What has possessed you? I don't understand. He really is just a vampire. Oh, Eric Chinos, you must pester me with these inane questions. Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. Then again, you have never been one for insight. Why, Master Lahabrea suffers your mediocrity. I shall never understand. You may look like him, but you're not the Hesperos I know. Something has warped you too, from the inside out. The key word, I know, had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was it all a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us for all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged to its depths. You prove my opinion of you with every word. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise to my throat. Such wasted potential. To be son to Master Lahabrea, yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. A child? But if he's fine. I am not as into him as one might think. And I don't know why. course, it's always about Laha. Silence! You are not worthy to utter his name. For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities. Beyond your shallow reckoning, you have slipped at the surely bonds of mortality. I know he even has tooths! It's just too much. What has happened here? Why are there vampires in the Ascian ancient past? I have become one with our mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. As a Hematheos shall I serve Master Lahabrea, ever faithful unto the end of days. Does Lahabrea want this? And he shall require no other. I think not! Elizabeth. Are you so blinded by arrogance that you have lost sight of what it means to serve? Eric Theos is more capable than you could ever know. Get him, Elizabeth. It was thanks to his instruction that I was able to master the art of endearment, both how to wield it and how to break free of it. Kasasagi, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hesperos' mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master intimate so quickly, to say nothing how swiftly that familiar laid low the phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Were they fritter away their strength in calming the beasts of Asphodeos, I continue my work. Even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain, naught shall await them but doom. I eagerly await your arrival, Ercantheos. Even dullards have their uses. Evil laugh? No. Is that fucked up or what? My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face the keyword of Asphaldos himself. More than that revelation, however, Eric Theos worries me. He loved Hesperos for his compassion, but received naught but scorn from whatever the keyword has become. He said little since our return. I only hope that the shock of recent events does not prove to be a death knell for his resolve. Who wards the warders? Themis would offer what comfort he can to Eric Theos. Much as I am loath to disturb Eric Theos so soon after what just occurred, I am afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events concerning both the keyword and his father. Lahabrea? Fucked? We were so wrapped up in vampires that we didn't even get to the real heart of the matter. The Lahabrea did a fuck. If we're talking about the same Lahabrea, it's getting a little confusing, I will admit. The creation of the ward which surrounds Pandemonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess, a feat accomplished by none other than Lahabrea. That both my father and I can bind others in chains is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. Ah, so it is true. I am Lahabrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you. Nay, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, it is to indicate some long-held connection with Lahabrea. 'Twas Lahabrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles, but that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of Lahabrea, more specifically, my mother, who was a researcher here. Oh no! The Lahabrea and Iggy Orm ship! It's been destroyed! No, Athena was lead researcher? Not the former Lahabrea? I've already forgotten all the information. You did speak of Athena, chief keyword before Lahabrea? She is your mother, yes? Oh, astute. I can see why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You have the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. Lahabrea had nothing to do with it. It's still possible. I see there is little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why Lahabrea was appointed chief keyword when another was already in place. Was. Oh no, it is. It's. The dream is in fact dead, Crab. Was in place. My mother is no longer with us. And Lahabrea was all too eager to assume her responsibilities with nary a moment to spare to mourn her. What love do I owe him now, when he offered not one drop of compassion then? Ah, I see. She is no longer with us. An expression to convey the end of a life. I have known only the public face of Lahabrea. While he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstance, I must admit that oft he comes across as cold. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? The topic is an easy one for me to discuss. Of course, there are more pressing matters at hand, after all, namely how to deal with Hesperos. We have yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. And now that he is aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing, quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations is another moment Hesperos can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. He said he has become one of the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to interment. In theory, that should be possible. However, is it enough merely to confine him, after all he has done? I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. Was it all truly so that he could serve his master? To my mind, he's merely put Lahabrea's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous power. Lahabrea is the chief keyword of Pandemonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? It doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Should we seek to put him in fetters, or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? I want answers too. I got my board with all the theory strings. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trials you have faced in the past, but to see you so certain is all the convincing I need. Very well, let us try, Erictheus' plan. Thank you, Kazasagi. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of Phrykokolas, a beast which feeds off the aether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperos merged with his essence with. And we know all too well that he can change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Okay, I'm glad we're fighting him now, and this silly vampire is not, like, an endgame situation. The fourth circle. I hope this is the most Castlevania thing I've ever experienced. Aside from actual Castlevania. Oh, I didn't actually talk to them. He called himself a Hemitos and claimed immortality. I know not how he discovered this dark art, but his actions do not bespeak a sound mind. That Hephaestus possessed such a lust for power that he would resort to this. Clearly I misjudged him. I'd like nothing more than to strike him down myself, but seeing you wipe that arrogant grin off his face will taste just as sweet. How close are we to the castle? Exceptionally silly. Everyone wants to be in it, looks like, so... Am I safe? Am I left? I don't have any bone stacks, so I must be doing something right. No DPS belong in here. Yeah, I shouldn't actually be in here, but no one else was going, so... Yeah. No, I knew I shouldn't have gone in there, but I felt it was better than... I felt it was better than it not being taken. No, I knew exactly what was up with that. Oh. Well, that makes sense. Get healed a little bit. That's it. Let's just start with... Yeah. It was worth taking it before. Oh shit. Even if it was the wrong thing to do. Because no one else was. Okay, so. It would be nice if people just did it, but you can sack yourself to save the raid. So what I do? head, really. I got fucked up. Oh well. Ooh. No! Fuck. Damn it. Ah, fucking hell. I thought I was gonna go straight, but I did not. I thought I was gonna go more diagonally. Oh, so sad. I don't think I can take all of these. Oh, I had seen these little bats. I thought maybe they came from maps. $62 is not gonna win that little button. Not gonna win that little guy. No gear for me this week, but it is okay. I did get something out of every roundabout, so I'll make raid gear in like a week or something, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, Themis, we end this here. Fools, I will not be put in chains. To think that I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should have treated you with more than a mere nuisance. Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the star with me. You are wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes, my repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. I remain loyal to my very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandemonium. You had Lahabrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all of that and sully your legacy besides. He became so blinded by his own desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his plans lie in tatters. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would like to know why he chose this path. Hesperos' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was so jealous that fate had chosen you, and not him, to be Lahabrea's son. So terrible did his jealousy become that he sought for verbatim power, power that Lahabrea would be unable to ignore. How does a pursuit for respect warp one heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? I've never heard of such a thing. It happens, but that doesn't mean it's right. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing, but perhaps that signifies naught but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times, a person you trust to guide you true. How it is to desperately wish their light would fall upon you once again. But we have spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperos' magic is fading throughout Asphodolos. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facilities and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? I think this lad is pretending not to be Elidibus, but I feel like his robe should really give him away. What is that presence? Erythenos, what lies beyond the threshold? That is the passage which connects Asphodolos to Abyssios. Why? To be on your guard, you two. Now that Asphodolos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense disturbances on the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. Oh, that's the seal of Lahabrea. A warding sigil. How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to apprise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Just when I thought our work to be done, did this tragedy unfold all throughout Pandemonium? Although we have defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandemonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions. How could this mean that Hesperos... could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? It is a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. When we first encountered you, you said your memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It is possible that this same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection of Lahabrea into a burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he made an offer of power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they would not stop at him. Indeed, a mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments, for more potential hemithoi. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. Should we tell Danny Lahabrea? Do not lose heart yet, Ekatheros. Hesperos has challenged us alone, and that tells me that the process of his creation was a long and taxing one. If he was the first Timotheus, then the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into Pandemonium, the way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. With the creation still having free reign of Asphodelios, that won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles, and thus can wield intermittent magic within the halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that. Then there's nothing stopping us from returning order to Asphodolus. Just so. I shall require expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement, however. You are Asphodolus' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to Lahabrea? Do it. Damn it, 'tis too soon to say. Let us find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we have ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed. Even so, if it means saving even a single life within Pandemonium, then I'm not above asking Lahabrea for help, should it come to that. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos' actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows, and we must proceed with utmost caution. To that end, Ericthos and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodolus. You should take this time to rest. Surely you are weary, and there may be more battles ahead of us. Themis' burden may grow heavier in your absence, but he's shown that he's more than capable to bear it. Still, I would help wherever I'm able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two, and I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense, you owe us nothing. It was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Elsewise, we would have likely succumbed to the Hippopotamus' assault. Each of us have arrived at this desire passed by separate paths, but it is only by combing our respective expertises that we will reach an end of it and see Pandemonium saved. Thank you. The theme is... Hesperos' words seem to have affected me more than I realized. Together we've come this far, and together we'll reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Kasasagi her rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. Ah, so you don't serve the convocation. I suppose I needn't worry about you going behind our backs to curry favor with Lahabrea. Don't be so sure. If I could find him, I would. My friend would be very curious to hear what has occurred here. However, I fear that if I left Pandemonium, the wards protecting it would quickly deteriorate. I hope she does not mind assuming some of my duties in the meantime. I don't think this is Vanat. I have no idea who he's talking about. I'm gonna miss you. I'll see you in 6 months. Or 2 weeks, technically, for Savage. No, I don't want that. I went the wrong way. I'm actually just going to teleport out of here. Where are we going? Welcome back, Kasasagi. From the past, none the worse for wear, I see. So what did you find? So there is evil afoot in Pandemonium, an already ominous place, I must say. Mystic beasts and missing warders. Truly we are fortunate to see you return to us in one piece. It appears the voice Kasasagi heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived among the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. Much remains shrouded in mystery. Yet ilm by ilm we shall unveil that mystery, with the help of Kasasagi, of course. By her actions was the fabric of the past reshaped, yet she returns to the same present she left. Which can only mean one thing, that her intervention at Pandemonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. There is no telling what consequences would arise if we stop pursuing this matter now. Whatever plot is unraveling within Pandemonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancients, and that their despair might leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. The despair would only be to feed the terrible beasts that arose during the final days. The first final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars it left were made even deeper, then we risk losing our present entirely. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I have asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandemonium? Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. If there is aught we can do to ease your burden, you need only say the word. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal into our keeping? While we cannot accompany you to the past, perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. It shines just as splendidly as the day we met. We shall begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for some time. And as matters in Ellipse seem to be in a similar state, I must ask that you rest. But before that, allow me to make an introduction. As our research moves into its critical stage, I found only suitable to create another assistant. Maylene is an expert in armaments from throughout history, be they from the far-flung past or made in the most modern forges. Should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring it to her, and she will be glad to offer her services. We know researchers in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from the bygone era, and would give you goods in return that should aid you in the trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to pursue records of events that have been reported here, Neme Gigi has been taking a faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. I sense that we have embarked upon something monumental, something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor, nor reassurance than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there's anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of this crystal, and you shall be the first to know when we do. I think spell speed might be my future. Oh no, these are regular S quests, because I haven't done all my side quests here. So I didn't actually end up getting anything. This dress is beautiful! The collar's a little high. But I don't hate it. Ceiling one's the same in white. Nope, that's a headpiece. It is the same in white. Okay. I can tell it's not gonna die. Super nice. What's the headgear? Oh, just, yeah, I figured as much. Don't mind the naked lizard. Alright. just those? Okay. So then with that, with the top... Oh, I will find way cuter pants. The top can stay. Pants must go. Never mind, the boots are kick-ass. Is the jewelry cute? Sometimes the necklace has been... Oh, I actually don't think the necklaces are gonna be that. Oh, it's cute. If casting and healing look like that... The other ones... This tank top is so good, actually! Oh, it's so cute. I love these outfits a lot. Mamie's gonna be... Now that Reapers with maiming, they get way less spiky stuff, even though everything in here is kind of soft. Strike. Oh, these are really, really good. Oh, that's cute. This is all very cute. Is there a new tone? No, no new tones yet. Okay. Alright, that is going to be it for me. Thank you so very, very much for being here. I hope you all have a very lovely, after evening? It's evening. I will actually be back, not quite to the regular schedule. I think we'll take evenings off and give things one more cue. Thank you for the sippy! I think one more week to sort of settle, and I didn't have any trouble getting into queue today, but just in case. And then, so we will start Dragon Age tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST, and we'll just do morning streams for a tiny bit. And then Final Fantasy 2 on Friday, and then we will do more Final Fantasy here on Saturday and Sunday. But thank you so much. I hope you all have a very lovely evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye!